Welcome to our VMware User Group Global Virtual Event. Today's topic is how to advance your company's sustainability goals with a trusted VMware Zero Carbon Committed partner. I'm Vicki Vaughn, Director of Cloud Provider Marketing, and I'm excited to be interviewing three of our panelists today who are part of our Zero Carbon Committed initiative. I'd like to welcome our panel, starting with Eric Pan. Eric is our Senior Director of Alliances Marketing at Oracle. Eric, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Eric has 20 years of marketing experience in cloud and emerging technologies, and you're based in Austin. And so thank you. We're all on different time zones today, so thank you, Eric. Next up, I have Vladimir. Vladimir Milnar is the COO, CISO, and data protection audits for Axians. Vladimir has 30 years of experience. Hello, Vladimir. How are you today?
Hey, thanks. Everything is okay from Austria.
Good. Glad to hear it. Vladimir is M&A, IT strategy, and outsourcing systems. Lots of background in this discussion today. And also we have today from FocusNet, Michael Fittler. Michael is the Director of Cloud Services. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be here with all of you.
Great. And Michael, you're based in Berlin, Germany.
That's correct.
You're the co-founder of FocusNet, and you've really shaped your company's profile with your founders and designed this companies from 2016 as a cloud operations business. So welcome. We look forward to talking to each of you today about your sustainability goals and why our Zero Carbon Committed initiative is important. But before we get into that, let me give everybody a little background to VMware's Zero Carbon Committed initiative. This is part of our cloud provider, Cloud Verified program. And we launched this back in May of 2021 with the vision of by 2030, all VMware public clouds will be zero carbon through 100% renewable energy powered data centers. So the goals for that have been to accelerate a transition to zero carbon clouds. And we have reached out to partners, three of those you'll talk to today, who are running VMware clouds. Our goal is to run them in 100% renewable energy powered data centers. We're working to connect customers to these cloud providers who also have aligned decarbonization goals. We're enabling a competitive differentiator for our cloud providers with this initiative. And we're trying to inspire more cloud partners to adopt our software-defined data center and set their own renewable energy goals. So today we're hoping that this presentation and this partner panel can help you see why choosing a zero carbon committed partner is the right way to go. So for our three panelists, Michael and Vladimir and Eric, I have my first question for you. And that is, what are your company's sustainability goals and commitments? And what's the expected impact that you're seeing for your customers? And I'll start with you, Eric.
Great. Okay. Well, at Oracle, our ESG goals are very similar to those of VMware. We have a goal to have 100% renewable energy across our cloud applications, also Oracle Cloud Infrastructure by 2025. Another goal that we have set forward is by 2050, we'll be 100% carbon neutral as a company. So all of our operations, facilities, real estate, but also the clouds that we power for our enterprise applications, which include ERP, HCM, Advertising CX, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. I think one of the things that we really believe in is having a philosophy where we connect better performance, which really is equal to more efficiency, and that's equal to less emissions across all of our applications, cloud, and technology services.
Thanks. Thank you for that. I'll switch over to you, Vladimir. The same question. What are your company's Axian sustainability goals and commitments?
Axians, as a part of the VMware Group, which is a French group is taking very aggressive actions to limit the consequences of the climate change. So we are committed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 40% compared to 2018 by 2030. So we are also committed to alignment with all these European Union targets by 2050 to be carbon neutral. From Austria, especially for us in the ICT, we are, as a VMware cloud verified partner, running a lot of infrastructure in our data center. So we are delivering all our services from our data center, which are 100% using renewable energy. So we are happy to be on the let's say in the same club with other guys here in VMware Zero Carbon Committed Club.
Great, thanks, and we're glad to have you. And lastly, but not least, Michael, for you in FocusNet, how are you taking these sustainability goals and commitments, and how do you see those impacting your customers?
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, FocusNet also, we're like aiming to be like 100% renewable energy in matters of cloud services by end of 2023. Obviously, we don't have that much infrastructure as Oracle does, for example. So it's a bit easier for us. But we also started working on that topic, like I would say 2 years ago. And at the moment, we are like more than 65% zero carb with our data centers, and there's like still some small steps to go, but we are very, very sure that we'll reach that target by 2023. And aside also, like from our cloud operations, we also like try to care for sustainability. Like for example, in our back office area, we only operate since more than 2 years hybrid or electric powered cars in the company. And like one very important selection criterion for our suppliers is also their commitment to sustainability, to ensure that not only we do the work, so all the others that we work with are also doing their work. So we're trying to integrate sustainability goals in all of our business decisions and activities. And I think with all these commitments, we also support our customer sustainability journey, which is also very important, because by showing all these goals, we enable our customers to focus on their own sustainability goals and their core business areas, while we as FocusNet, like running their infrastructure, for example, are taking care of sustainability in their IT area. That takes like some weight off their shoulders. So they know, like when we go to FocusNet, right, like since more than, I would say half a year now, since we are part of the Zero Carbon Committed from VMware, they know IT ESG is being like taken care of, and they don't have to worry about that anymore. It's like a piece of the puzzle for them.
Great, thank you all for answering that question. Let me talk to you about our next slide here. We did some work with Aberdeen Group last year, May of 2021, and the results were that the customer demand for efficient and sustainable data centers is truly out there, that the market for sustainability in the cloud is here. Our partners are telling that they're hearing that from their customers. 36% of businesses have already set zero carbon goals. And for this year, there's a plan for 24% more in 2022. And 40% of all businesses say that sustainability goals are driving their public cloud and virtualization initiatives. So that said, and knowing that study is really looking across the board, are you hearing from your customers, and are they asking for environmentally sustainable solutions, or what trends are you noticing? I'll start with you, Vladimir. Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, Axions is a part of a big worldwide ecosystem. So we are looking also that our supplier as well as our customers has the right direction to save carbon footprint, or to do the best out of it. So for instance, in our offerings, we are including results of so-called Green Plus calculator, which counts out of infrastructure list and the efforts in a project value for CO2 spendings, and we can compare it also.
I think we might have lost Vladimir. Oh,
Okay.
there we go. Michael, can you hear okay?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you, but I cannot hear Vladimir.
Okay, I'm going to ask Michael the question. So what are you hearing from your customers?
Yeah, so we are seeing those requests. We noticed, like, in general, a rise in ESG related requests from the customer side. I would say, like, in general, larger enterprises and especially like publicly traded companies are becoming more and more interested in setting ESG committed goals. Obviously also because they have like a bit more resources to worry about these things. The smaller you are, the less personnel you have, so the more difficult might be to think about ESG, but the larger ones, they have a bit more resources to worry about these things. So we see that more from the enterprise side. And depending on the industry, we also see different kind of requests, for example, like in larger real estate companies or in larger hospitality enterprises. We see, like, in general, a growing demand for energy efficient heating, cooling, decarbonized energy supply for their buildings. And what those customers do in regards to IT and in regards to us is they try to complement their commitment on their supplier side, meaning that they're looking for service providers with their own sustainability initiatives. And that's where we, like, hopefully or sometimes come into the picture and help them with their needs.
Great. And Eric, I'll pass it over to you now from an Oracle standpoint. Are you hearing customers? And it's interesting because you're sitting in the United States, where we have Vladimir and Michael in Europe. So we know sustainability and green is a little different in Europe than it is in the States. So I'm interested to hear what your perspective is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Oracle is we are truly a global organization, and we service customers all over the world. But one of the things that I am seeing and that I've heard about from talking to our sales teams is customers are absolutely asking for environmentally sustainable solutions. We have RFP, RFQ, and RFI documents where customers submit, very specific questions, and they want to know, with Oracle and Oracle Cloud applications and all of our technologies and services, what are our goals and how will we adhere to those goals going forward? Some of the trends we've noticed, and Oracle has customers that look to us for their sustainability consistency with their sustainability goals and objectives. So when they see that we have intentions to be 100% renewable energy source by 2025, that adds a level of consistency for those customers that we talk to, and their goals and objectives.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for that. And Vlad, did you want to, I know we were having some audio issues, but I know you're back on. Did you want to add anything more to what you were saying?
Yeah, just I want to mention that we have also included in our offerings information about the carbon footprint of the solution we are offering. So we have a so-called Green Plus calculator, which is a simple tool to calculate from the infrastructure from the setup of the project all aspects of CO2 consumption, and so the customer can see what he is buying and what's the carbon footprint out of it. Yeah, so he can use these results for his carbon footprint overview of things he is buying, and so we are working all in an ecosystem. So everybody needs to take care about things he is handing over to the next phase or to the customer.
Thank you. I have another question for my panel today. All of you, as being part of the Cloud Verified program, are aware of our badge for your sustainable cloud infrastructure, right? You're all working on sustainable cloud infrastructure as part of the software-defined data center. VMware's platform being, virtualization software, being a cloud provider, you're inherently means you're engaged in an effort to do business in a more efficient manner. But also as part of our VMware's commitment and our own software, you're already that far in helping your customers reach sustainability goals. From that perspective, from a sustainability perspective, what are the benefits of a complete software-defined infrastructure for your customers being on a VMware platform that you are? And I'll start with Michael.
Thank you. So, yeah, like from our perspective, running a complete software-defined infrastructure is the key factor of being sustainable and also being competitive, obviously, with other providers. At first, I would say, like, yeah, what you see is like you have major savings in the amount of physical infrastructure, like which is required to run all the customer workloads. You have less overhead of unused resources, obviously, and you have major energy savings possible due to much higher flexibility. So, for example, we have a system in place that automatically shuts down hypervisors that are not needed at a certain point of time, where because like resource consumption is less, for example, at night or whatever, and fires them up when it's needed. So, and at the moment, like we save between 3 and 6% of energy costs just by using this kind of system, which wouldn't be possible in a complete software-defined infrastructure, obviously. And also something that's very important is the longer asset lifecycle due to the additional abstraction layer from our perspective, especially in network area of software-defined data centers, because like physical hardware and customer workloads get more abstract because of the software-defined networking, and that leads to a longer asset lifecycle of the network infrastructure, which used also like something you had to renew more often if you want to use new features, all these things. But right now, like everything is software-defined, just running on top of things. So that makes it much better, because we all know that like production of like computer parts and switches and all these things that consume a lot of resources. So that's also something that we benefit from all, I would say.
Eric, tell me about how Oracle sees this. What's their perspective?
Yeah, you bet. So first off, Oracle Cloud is the ideal platform for VMware. And Oracle Cloud VMware solution is available in over 36 global regions. From a sustainability perspective, by having the goals that both of us set forward and being part of Zero Carbon Cloud, our customers can really focus on other areas of sustainability and not worry about their infrastructure and their applications as much as they can worry about their facilities and how they manage the rest of their business. So I think those are some really good benefits for customers. And then it helps us. I mean, we want to maintain our course to be carbon neutral and have sustainability metrics around 100% renewable energy. So in the consistency with what VMware provides to us in the Oracle Cloud VMware solution, I think the benefits are great for both of us and our customers.
And Vladimir, for Axians, how do you see this for you?
I think additional to the aspects Michael and Eric mentioned before, I want to add also the fact that the hardware parts are from the perspective of manufacturing, are spending much more CO2 footprint as the software is doing. Yeah? So not only running the environment, which brings additional savings in power consumption, there is also let's say the manufacturing aspect important to see. And so overall, I think software-defined data center is the right way how to approach also this aspect of sustainability on the market.
Thank you. All wonderful answers and different perspectives, which is great. I have one more question for my panel today, and that is, I'll wait for that slide to change. There we go. Thank you all first for being part of our Zero Carbon Committed initiative. How are you seeing this initiative helping you differentiate your cloud offerings? I know, Eric, you touched on this a bit with Oracle Cloud, but I'm going to start with you because
Thanks.
I know arm in arm, VMware and Oracle have really been looking at sustainability very closely. And like you said, global companies, large global companies. How is this working for you and Oracle?
Right. So last year at VMworld, we made some announcements that we support VMware today and into the future. And so marked of that, we constantly evolve the Oracle Cloud VMware solution. We're adding in additional compute, storage, and network capabilities throughout the year. We also have support for Horizon, vRealize, SRM, and Tanzu. And so I think for VMware customers especially, I think it's great because they can continue to operate their VMware infrastructure along with all those other services I mentioned in a very sustainable fashion. There was also a CIO.com blog that VMware sponsored, and that this was late last year, and Oracle's Chief Sustainability Officer, John Chorley, was quoted in there and interviewed. So encourage the audience to go out to CIO.com and review that blog. It's pretty interesting. It's entitled "Delivery of Cloud Services Aligns with Company Sustainability Efforts." So I think, our partnership together is one that's long lasting, and it really helps our customers do a couple things, really accelerate their cloud strategies, which line up very well with sustainability efforts.
Yeah, and thanks for that plug on our CIO.com, CIO.com/brand posts/VMware. And there are not only blog posts from you at Oracle, Oracle Cloud, but also from our other two partners that are here today on the panel. So I encourage the audience to go out there and take a look. Vladimir, I'll move over to you. How are you seeing the Zero Carbon Committed initiative helping you differentiate your cloud offerings in your marketplace?
With the VMware stack of products and this batch of Zero Carbon Committed, we show that our power savings solutions on these new platforms for the running of business applications are really milestones for continuous improvement of our energy efficiency in the operations, but also at all in the data center area. And it's a right base for our market steps in this direction. So I think all our offerings are based on this infrastructure. So it's a perfect fit and shows that all these partners in these ecosystems are willing to do the best for our planet. And as I told you, there is no plan B for us. Yeah, we need to follow this and to be better. And I think your initiative shows that you are thinking about these aspects, and we are happy to support you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a timely topic for sure. And Michael, perhaps you can take us home with this last question on differentiation and how Zero Carbon Committed is helping you and FocusNet and your offerings in the marketplace.
Yeah, pleasure, sure. So yeah, we as FocusNet, we are like a sovereign German cloud provider. We have all our data centers located within Germany, but like green energy sustainability has an important part in German society and also in the political orientation of the country since many years. You already mentioned something like this. And since last October, we even have the Green Party in the government coalition. So there is a lot of awareness for sustainability in this country. And we are mainly serving the market of Germany, obviously. So the joining the VMware Zero Carbon initiative helped us to show the world and our customers that we are like in line with those sustainability goals and that our business conduct is environmentally and socially responsible. So the VMware Zero Carbon initiative is therefore substantially, I would say, supporting the value of the services that we are providing to our customers. And we actually also won projects because of our zero carbon commitment, which in the end tipped the scale in our favor. So that's something very positive to tell from our side, and that helps us.
Great. Well, I want to thank my panel today. I want to thank all three of you. Your companies, you're the reason that our VMware Zero Carbon Committed initiative has taken off and grown so much. Virtualization in the cloud are by their very nature green, and they dramatically reduce the amount of energy required when businesses complete these processes themselves versus work with a partner like yourselves. And of course, virtualization dramatically reduces the amount of hardware required. And working across all three of these partners, customers, you all out there are gaining the flexibility of scaling your virtual infrastructure up and down without the redundant investments, in on-system premises. So this is why specifically these cloud providers with us today have taken the steps necessary to work to achieve zero carbon emissions. And I just want to thank all of you for your work and what you're doing for our industry and what you're doing for the world. So it's been a pleasure, and all of you out there, take a look at all of these three cloud providers and learn more about them. So thanks again for your time.
Thank you a lot. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.